In a haze of alcohol and boldness, I found myself on one knee, asking my perpetually grumpy boss to be my partner for life. Little did I know, this would become a tale I'd recount with a mix of embarrassment and disbelief. Unbeknownst to me, it felt like the dawn of an extraordinary journey, one that promised to be filled with purpose and excitement. Once upon a time, in a land where frost kissed the earth and warmth was but a distant memory, there lived a regal figure known as the Ice Queen. Her heart was as cold as the winter winds, and her realm was shrouded in eternal snow. Yet, amidst the glistening white, a radiant sunbeam dared to break through the clouds, casting a gentle glow upon the frozen landscape. This unlikely duo was destined to intertwine in a tale of contrasts, where warmth sought to thaw the chill of solitude. The Lyra Media. The headquarters stood as more than mere walls and a roof. It stood as a testament to refined strength. 50 tales of colored panes danced against the city skyline, mirroring the steely aspirations of those who inhabited them. Once upon a time, in a realm of possibilities, there existed a moment that marked the beginning of something extraordinary. At the very peak, both in spirit and in presence, stood Victoria Hale. In the heart of the bustling city, there was a corner office that stood as a testament to ambition and dreams. Sunlight poured through the large windows, casting a warm glow on the polished desk, where ideas took flight and plans were crafted. It was a sanctuary of creativity, where every decision shaped the future and every moment held the promise of. It was more than merely a place to work. In the heart of a meticulously crafted sanctuary, where cool marble met minimalist furniture and a view that overlooked the city as if a sovereign gazed upon her realm, the atmosphere buzzed softly with a sense of purpose. In a space where the air was meticulously regulated, a subtle aroma of lemon polish mingled with a refreshing hint, reminiscent of the clean scent that follows a thunderstorm. Victoria Hale was the very essence of the realm she ruled. In their late 30s, possessing a finely chiseled physique, a silhouette so sharp it could slice through the air, she appeared as a breathtaking embodiment of icy beauty. Her hair, a shimmering hue reminiscent of the finest silver, flowed like a cascade of light, drawn in with an effortless grace, like a masterful dance. Her wardrobe exuded an air of sophistication, showcasing a stunning array of sleek, monochrome ensembles that commanded attention with every sharp detail. Charcoal suits paired with ice-white silk blouses that seemed to whisper rather than speak. Stiletto heels that clicked with the steady beat of a metronome echoed across the gleaming floors. She glided through the space with a graceful precision, each movement deliberate and purposeful. Thoughtful, each gesture weighed with intention. To her team, she was in a realm where frost reigns supreme, she stands as a figure of brilliance, her presence commanding attention. With an air of elegance that seems to shimmer like ice, she remains utterly untouchable, a vision of strength and allure that captivates all who dare to approach. Her gaze, a captivating hue of Arctic blue, capable of halting a presentation in its tracks or leaving a seasoned executive at a loss for words. I'm sorry. Honor was essential. In the realm of suits and briefcases, the concept of warmth seemed to vanish, leaving behind a cold, sterile atmosphere. Descending from the lofty heights of the executive floor into the lively buzz of the marketing department felt like entering a realm beyond imagination. In this realm, the dull gray surrendered to vibrant bursts of fuchsia, transforming the mood boards into a canvas of excitement. The soft murmur faded, giving way to the air was alive with the vibrant hum of ideas colliding, punctuated by spontaneous fits of laughter that echoed through the room. And at the heart of this vibrant whirlwind was, once upon a time, there was a young woman named Jasmine Reyes, 29, with a waterfall of dark, bouncy curls that seemed to dance in the air, with a smile that appeared to be forever carved into her features. Jasmine was truly a whirlwind of energy. Her wardrobe was a treasure trove of memories, each piece telling a story of its own, a spirited uprising against the chains of corporate sameness. In a vibrant scene, emerald green wide leggers danced around the figure, perfectly complemented by a sunshine yellow blouse that radiated warmth and joy. She wore a cobalt blue dress adorned with swirling oranges, complemented by chunky statement necklaces that clinked softly as she moved. Shifted. She swept into the room, as if the very air shifted to welcome her presence. She leaped into it, exuding a vibrant force that has the power to elevate the mood of even the most weary data analyst. Her laughter echoed through the room, vibrant and sincere, a delightful melody that filled the air. The sound that reached Victoria Hale's ears seemed to travel from 3 floors above, evident in the way her jaw tightened ever so slightly whenever it wafted into her workspace, uninvited yet familiar. In a world where brilliance often shone like a beacon, Jasmine stood out, her intellect a captivating force that drew others in. Once upon a time, her marketing campaigns were brave, groundbreaking, and essential for success. Since she took the lead in the months that came before, Lyra Media experienced a remarkable surge in profits, soaring by an impressive 30. In her gaze, she beheld In a world where many overlooked the subtle ties that bound us, there was one who saw the threads of connection that others missed. With a spirit unafraid to explore uncharted territories, they dove into new platforms, embracing each opportunity with a fearless enthusiasm. Their ability to grasp the nuances of understanding was nothing short of remarkable, as if they possessed a sixth sense for the unspoken bonds that united us all. What the crowd longed for. Her emails were the stuff of legends, with subject lines overflowing with exclamation points and vibrant emojis that radiated joy. With the quarterly results in hand, the excitement builds as we rally together for an epic Q4. Signatures often grace the documents, marking the beginning of our next adventure. A small, animated version of herself beaming with joy and giving a cheerful thumbs up. Victoria stumbled upon her, draining, the unyielding hopefulness, the vibrant array of hues, the overwhelming abundance of her personality struck Victoria's meticulously tuned senses like a sudden storm. Jasmine's Monday morning presentations unfolded with an exhilarating fervor, each gesture a vivid brushstroke and a canvas of sensory delight. The CEO, Victoria, found solace in the quiet corners, where shadows danced and silence reigned, surrounded by spreadsheets that whispered their secrets. In a world where silence spoke volumes, Jasmine shone brightly, a dazzling force of nature. Yet, Victoria found herself grappling with a truth that danced just out of reach, hidden beneath her annoyance. Jasmine Reyes was also, it was a heat that could not be ignored, a simmering intensity that filled the air. She radiated an energy that drew everyone in, a captivating glow that was impossible to resist, that Victoria found herself unable to resist, even as she felt a shiver run down her spine from its power. The way her eyes glimmered, as she spoke about the new campaign, her enthusiasm radiated, her smile curved beautifully, and there was an effortless sway to her hips that captivated everyone around her. In those absurdly vibrant garments, everything clicked into place with an unexpected sharpness that Victoria attempted to grasp, but ultimately could not. She found herself captivated by Jasmine's expressive gestures in the midst of a meeting, only to quickly avert her eyes. Annoyed, she caught the sound of Jasmine's laughter bouncing off the walls, and an unwelcome twist gripped her stomach, stirring a mix of emotions within her. It had nothing to do with a simple upset stomach. It was utterly draining, lacking any semblance of professionalism, and downright absurd. Victoria found herself lost in thought. She was crafting a plan, striving to restore her frosty defenses. Lucrative, clever, intense. The final idea crept in, uninvited and relentless. Alas, the scene was already established. Elevated, high above the bustling city, the Ice Queen ruled from her shimmering citadel of frost. Below her, a radiant sunbeam danced through the streets, emitted a glow of vibrancy and hue. Their realms were distinct, like oil and water, contrasting shadows and brilliant light, and the path ahead, defined by that 38% profit margin and an unexpected twist. The undeniable pull between them was already in motion. The only mystery that lingered was which force would give way first. Chapter 2. With a touch of brilliance, Victoria Hale navigated her world through the art of crafting controlled environments. In a realm where every detail was fine-tuned for peak performance and smooth sailing, Jasmine Reyes, the fearless leader of marketing, danced to her own beat. A comet blazed across the meticulously arranged cosmos, leaving a shimmering trail of glitter and sound in her path. Victoria's mane, crafting a plan for evasion, can often seem like a grand adventure. Yet it proves to be a challenge in a realm where Jasmine's vibrant spirit and captivating presence filled the air on every floor. The leadership meeting on that Monday morning, it was a ritual for Victoria, a weekly dance with the sun. Each Tuesday, she would step into the cool, gray-toned conference room right at 9:00 a.m. As she settled into her place at the head of the elongated obsidian table, an air of quiet descended upon the room. Her mere presence often brought a stillness, a palpable tension that seemed to weave through the atmosphere, with a flurry of energy that disrupted the tense atmosphere among the VPs. Her entrance was always a spectacle, often arriving just a minute behind. She would stroll in with a tablet in hand, and a massive reusable cup overflowing with what appeared to be a vibrant concoction of liquefied Skittles, and a spark of barely contained excitement. "Good morning, team. My apologies. The roads were a wild challenge, yet I arrived with a steaming cup of energy and brilliant concepts." Jasmine would chirp, her smile lighting up the dim room like a spark in the night. She would always opt for She sat directly across from Victoria, who wore a vibrant outfit that caught the eye, a striking blazer layered over a patterned top, creating a bold visual contrast. Assault against the CEO's monochrome armor. Victoria would school her features into impassivity, taking a slow, with a purposeful sip of her black coffee. She took deep breaths, centering herself on the agenda ahead. Her presentations were nothing short of an adventure. She didn't merely share data, she brought it to life. It was a scene to behold. Her hands danced through the air, painting vivid pictures with every gesture. The way her voice rose and fell, filled with emotion, captivated everyone around her. Employed phrases such as collaboration, widespread influence, and groundbreaking interaction with a passion that captivated Victoria's. A dull throb pulsed through her jaw. Her slides burst forth like fireworks, vibrant hues dancing across the screen, with striking fonts that demanded attention. Reminiscent of Victoria's flair, a wave of unease washed over me as I watched the tiny dancing cartoon, Lyra Media logo, bounce playfully across the screen, its vibrant colors flickering like a whimsical dream. Across the expanse of a graph, a sense of unprofessionalism lingered. Yet, there was Jasmine, her smile radiant as she zoomed in on the chart, capturing the moment with enthusiasm. Demonstrating an astonishing surge in user engagement, reveals the magic of welcoming the unforeseen. We joined forces with that micro. Once upon a time, there was a captivating creator known for her soothing unboxing adventures, accompanied by her charming companion, Captain Squawk the Parrot. Together, they enchanted their audience with delightful sounds and surprises, turning each reveal into a magical experience. In a world where possibilities intertwine, she discovered a unique approach that sparked a remarkable transformation. The response was overwhelming. As connections flourished and enthusiasm soared, she'd punctuate this with a triumphant little fist pump. Victoria would maintain her glacial stare, her mind swirling in a tempest of... In a world of clashing desires, where the asterisk Captain Squawk whispers softly, one can't help but feel the weight of the frivolous nature of it all. This is a tale of contradictions, a dance between the serious and the lighthearted. In a surprising turn of events, a clever strategy has emerged, leading to a remarkable 11% boost in click-throughs for that particular initiative. In the world of business, numbers tell a story, and Jasmine was now the protagonist of her own tale. 6 months had passed since she stepped into the role of marketing lead, and the product line faced a looming risk. The figures were undeniable, whispering secrets of success and challenges that lay ahead. The department had not merely improved, it had soared to new heights. Profits were unmistakably. There was a remarkable surge of 30%. The board took note, the industry took note. Victoria, with a hint of hesitation, she became aware. Her feedback was carefully considered, delivered in a calm and composed manner. With a keen eye, she examined every detail, carefully unraveling the risks that lay beneath the surface. Her inquiries delved into the scalability, probing its limits and possibilities. She was not afraid to highlight the shadows of potential brand dilution, ensuring that nothing was overlooked in her pursuit of clarity. Jasmine stood resolute, ready to navigate the complexities ahead. She leaned in, her head slightly tilted, curls dancing with each nod, soaking in the feedback while keeping her vibrant spirit intact. The observations were completely on point. Victoria, we have plans in place to enhance the charm of Captain Squawks. Imagine vibrant parrot-themed filters and a captivating brand presence. In a world where clarity is key, we are meticulously defining our audience. The essence of our message stays strong and unwavering, exclusive. Yet we are reaching out to fresh, lively audiences. She would beam another radiant smile, seemingly untouched by the chill of Victoria's frost. Victoria found herself weary. The unyielding hope felt like a delicate melody that danced through the air, known only to her. The vibrant essence of Jasmine's spirit, her joyous laughter, her expressive face commanded attention that Victoria usually reserved for intricate P&L statements, longing for the soothing murmur of her workspace, the sharp edges of her data, the steady beat of reason. Jasmine was an unfiltered wave of feeling encased in vibrant, modern design. The encounter didn't conclude with a simple discussion. It lingered, haunting Victoria. Returning to her sanctuary, her inbox transformed into a battleground. Jasmine's emails were unmissable, their subject lines gleaming like vibrant beacons in the stark landscape of corporate dialogue. Attention, your insight is crucial for this amazing campaign draft. Let's connect with Captain for further details. In a vibrant gathering, ideas took flight as minds united. The atmosphere buzzed with anticipation for the upcoming quarter, where creativity and ambition intertwined. Everyone was encouraged to unleash their boldest visions. Victoria gazed intently at the screen, her brow knitted in concentration. It was fabulous, a soaring session of creativity unfolding before her eyes. The overabundance of punctuation, the childish emojis, like a fiery dancer beside a quarterly report, seemed almost personal, an insult to her expertise. She yearned for emails with subject lines that announced, Compa Draft for Review, Q2 Metrics. Here's the analysis of the micro-influencer partnership results. It is attached for your review. The findings are presented clearly and concisely, focusing solely on the data without any emotional context. She would gently unveil the email, bracing herself. Jasmine's writing style mirrored her speaking, enthusiastic, peppered with colloquialisms and exclamation points, often including links to trending talk sounds or memes as mood references. Victoria would scroll past the digital. Amidst a flurry of celebration, she steeled her mind, honing in on the core elements that mattered most. The piercing insights, the groundbreaking strategies, the undeniable results that validated Jasmine's vibrant style. One afternoon, following a particularly dazzling subject, get ready for a surprise. This Friday. Hey team, we have something exciting planned for you this Friday. Join us in the lobby for a surprise event that you won't want to miss. We're celebrating the launch of a fantastic new feature in our app, and we want you to be part of the fun. Mark your calendars and get ready to join in on the excitement. We promise it'll be a memorable moment. See you there. Best, your name. With a sigh, Victoria settled into her ergonomic chair, her fingers gently kneading her temples. On the screen beside her, the latest updates flickered to life. The quarterly financials shone brightly, revealing an unmistakable rise in profits. Jasmine Reyes stood as a testament to this remarkable journey. A vibrant spectacle, bursting with chaos and color, unleashed a flurry of emojis that captivated all who witnessed it. Victoria grasped a sleek silver pen, tapping it in a steady rhythm against the immaculate surface of her desk. Her eyes drifted to the cityscape beyond her window, but instead of seeing the geometric skyline, she envisioned Jasmine's. As the morning meeting unfolded, animated hands danced through the air, weaving stories of enthusiasm. Her dark eyes sparkled with a fervor that was impossible to ignore, illuminating the room with a contagious energy. With an effortless rhythm, she glided out of the conference room, her hips moving in a dance that left a spark of lively energy in her wake. As the dawn broke, a sense of opportunity lingered in the air, and Victoria, with a glint of determination in her eyes, recognized the undeniable potential that lay before her. Her brilliance shone through, even in the chill of the morning, in her unique and unexpected manner. Tireless, overwhelmingly so, and sweltering. It's just so unbearably hot, she sighed, frustration evident in her voice. Once upon a time, in a world where the extraordinary was woven into the fabric of everyday life, there existed something truly unique. In the stillness of the office, a faint whisper lingered, barely breaking the silence. The Ice Queen sensed an unwelcome fissure beginning to emerge in her carefully crafted exterior, not from pressure, but from an overwhelming abundance of unwanted, dazzling brilliance. Once upon a time, a fierce clash unfolded, where warriors stood resolute, their hearts pounding with courage and determination. The air crackled with tension as the forces of good and evil faced off, each side fueled by their beliefs and the desire for victory. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the battlefield, the sound of clashing swords and battle cries echoed through the land, marking the beginning of an epic saga that would be told for generations to come. Lines were etched not only between the various corporate styles, but also deep within Victoria herself, as the adversary revealed itself to be much more formidable than anticipated. She was undeniably captivating, a force to be reckoned with, even if she wouldn't openly acknowledge it. Chapter 3 unfolds. The excitement before the gathering is palpable. The annual Lyra Media Gala was more than just an event. It was a celebration of creativity and connection, where stories unfolded and memories were crafted under the shimmering lights. It was an essential moment, a creature of the corporate jungle, a grand spectacle of influence and affluence, where connections were artfully crafted and showcased in the heart of the city. A grand ballroom sparkled with elegance, its opulence captivating all who entered. For Victoria Hailou, it felt akin to the unsettling experience of a tax audit, and a root canal among her favorite pastimes. Obligation loomed like a dark cloud, denser than the luxurious fragrance. Victoria steeled herself for the impending clash. On this night, she donned her armor, a shimmering reflection of her strength and resolve, a gown crafted with exquisite detail, embodying the artistry of Alexander McQueen. A dark, shimmering fabric cascaded effortlessly, its edges as sharp as a blade, gliding through the air like a whisper of night. Once upon a time, there was a mysterious entity that captured the imagination of many. Its presence was felt everywhere, yet it remained elusive, weaving tales of wonder and intrigue. Each encounter with it sparked curiosity and left a lasting impression, inviting those who dared to explore its depths. Embraced her powerful presence, revealing not a trace of weakness. The elegant high neckline and flowing long sleeves exude a captivating charm. She exuded an aura of untouchable authority, her presence commanding attention. The minimalist diamond studs glimmered subtly, while the platinum cuff added a touch of elegance to her poised demeanor. Locks styled in a strikingly bold manner, she embodied elegance, a figure chiseled from the purest ice, and darkness. Surveying herself in the full-length mirror of her penthouse, she adjusted a cuff, her expression one of contemplation and poise, an air of somber acceptance. In just 3 hours, the ballroom transformed into a grand display of opulence. In a grand hall, crystal chandeliers hung like stars, casting shimmering light across the room. Towering ice sculptures stood majestically, their forms slowly yielding to warmth, while the soft, enchanting notes of a string quartet filled the air, weaving a tapestry of sound that danced with the flickering glow, struggling to keep afloat amidst the swelling waves of conversation. Victoria glided through the throng, a powerful force navigating the sea of faces. Gentler seas, a subtle gesture here, a brief recognition there, a moment perfectly seized. A delicate sip of champagne, the exquisite Dom Perignon, taken with the intention of gracefully sidestepping any lengthy exchanges. She was drawn to On the outskirts, she discovered a fleeting sanctuary beside a majestic display of white orchids, her stance exuding an unmistakable air of resistance. The call that resonated the loudest, demanding attention from all who heard it. Suddenly, the atmosphere in the room transformed. It was as if the air itself paused, a shared moment of anticipation, before a gentle illumination filled the space. Victoria sensed it, a tingling sensation, resting gently at the nape of her neck. With a swift motion, she pivoted, her eyes cutting through the throng as they sought the entrance. Once upon a time, in a land filled with vibrant colors and fragrant blooms, there lived a young girl named Jasmine. Her spirit was as bright as the sun, and her laughter echoed through the valleys. Every day, she would wander through the gardens, discovering the secrets of nature and weaving tales of wonder. The world around her was a canvas, and she painted it with her dreams and adventures, inviting all who crossed her path to join in the magic of her story. The moment had come. Reyes was finally here. Victoria held her composure with unwavering strength, yet her fingers curled ever so slightly around the delicate stem of her champagne flute. Jasmine was more than just there. She was in the vast expanse of the cosmos. A brilliant explosion unfolds, illuminating the darkness with its fiery brilliance. A star, once vibrant and full of life, meets its dramatic end, scattering its remnants across the universe. This celestial event, a testament to the cycle of creation and destruction, captivates the imagination and reminds us of the beauty and power of the universe. Her dress was a stunning surprise in deep molten crimson, a hue that softly spoke in peril and desire. It wasn't merely red. It was the very essence of red itself. The material embraced her silhouette with an audacity that danced on the edge of rebellion, featuring a tasteful yet bold plunge at the back. However, the real enchantment lay in the delicate nuances that Victoria had never seen coming. Thousands of delicate woven crystals captured the chandelier cast a magical light, crafting a constellation effect that made Jasmine seem to radiate from within with every graceful movement. Her dark curls danced in an artfully messy arrangement, shiny tendrils framing her face, which radiated with genuine light. There was a palpable thrill in the air, a sense of anticipation that made hearts race and eyes sparkle. Every moment felt charged with possibility, as if the world was holding its breath, waiting for something extraordinary to unfold. The atmosphere buzzed with energy, and the promise of adventure lingered just beyond the horizon. She exuded a captivating glow, brimming with life and an enchanting allure that seemed to come naturally, that captured the attention of all present. Victoria observed, a blend of annoyance and an unexpected intrigue swirling within her. A storm brewed within her, a tempest of emotions swirling and crashing like waves against the shore. Absurd, craving the spotlight, completely unfeasible. Still, she found herself unable to do so. Turn your gaze elsewhere. Jasmine glided through the room, her laughter ringing out at a colleague's joke, her smile bright and genuine. The glow danced in her eyes, reflecting the brilliance of her shimmering dress. She found her place among the glimmer and sound in a manner that Victoria had never been able to and never desired to. She was the very essence of all that Victoria perceived as tumultuous and captivating and irresistibly enchanting. Victoria stepped back, searching for an inviting haven at the sleek, gleaming bar. She requested a perfectly poured scotch, smooth and rich. A 16-year-old finds solace in the familiar embrace of smoke, a comforting anchor in the whirlwind of youth. She leaned against the cool marble, seeking to regain her frosty composure. In a moment of stillness, she gazed intently at the amber liquid swirling gently in her glass. A comforting aroma enveloped the air. As the sweet notes of jasmine and vanilla danced in the air, a distinct essence that was unmistakably hers lingered, heralding the arrival of someone special beside her. Victoria chose not to. It's time to seek out what lies ahead. The warmth enveloped her, a palpable presence that reached her before the soft, slightly breathless words danced in the air. Wow, this place is truly extraordinary. Our hair exudes an aura of sophistication, as if we've just walked into a world of intrigue and elegance. In the depths of a shadowy hideout, where secrets linger and danger lurks. One can only hope for a lair devoid of menacing creatures, especially the ones with sharp teeth. At long last, Victoria made her. She tilted her head slightly, her expression a mask of calm. Yet her icy blue eyes absorbed every detail of the striking crimson dress. Nearby, the delicate shimmer captivated all who beheld it, dancing in the light with each gentle movement of Jasmine's form. The allure of the cut was undeniable, and the air was thick with an unmistakable sense of confidence. Once upon a time, there was a great deal. Be careful not to ignite the entire ballroom with that stunning dress. Once upon a time, there was a remarkable individual named Victoria Reyes, whispered, her tone hushed and parched, as she lifted the glass of scotch to her lips once more. The remark served as a diversion, a protective barrier against the sheer, dazzling force of Jasmine's presence captivated everyone around her. It emerged with an unexpected edge, infused with a tension that bubbled just beneath the surface. Hidden beneath her flawless exterior, Jasmine pivoted gracefully, a radiant smile blossoming across her face. Upon her visage, no offense was taken at all. Instead, her dark eyes shimmered with a captivating light. With genuine, unfiltered joy, she leaned in a little closer, her voice softening to a hushed whisper that seemed to weave its way through the room. From your lips, Victoria Hail. Jasmine's eyes roamed across. With an air of admiration, one couldn't help but notice Victoria's stunning black gown, a true testament to elegance. What we have here is, in essence, a poetic masterpiece reminiscent of the great Shakespearean sonnets. Once upon a time, there was a girl who offered a small, mischievous salute with her champagne flute, which was already half full. Such commendation is truly remarkable. I shall make an effort to. Let's tone down the fireworks a bit. One must tread carefully in the realm of the Ice Queen, for her domain is as fragile as it is formidable. Her eyes sparkled with triumph, for the rhythm stretched out, a playful challenge intertwined with a comforting warmth, before she flashed a wink and seamlessly blended back in. Through the bustling crowd she moved, a radiant stream of crimson light following her, accompanied by the delicate, lingering aroma of jasmine that danced in the air behind her. Victoria stood still at the bar, the once rich scotch now leaving a bitter taste of ash on her tongue. Her knuckles gleamed with tension, encircling the shimmering vessel. In a realm where words dance with grace, the audacity of thoughts takes flight. With every line, a tempest we embrace, infuriating yet wondrous in its might, each syllable a spark, igniting fire, a tapestry of emotions intertwined. In the shadows of passion, we conspire, crafting verses that leave reason behind. Oh, the beauty in the chaos we create, as hearts collide in a symphony of sound. In the precision of the pointed remark cloaked in praise, she observed Jasmine walking away, the way the light glimmered in the light, as she moved with a graceful rhythm. The unwelcome heat that had once prickled her neck now blossomed. A tumult brewed deep within her, battling fiercely against the cold indifference she desperately sought to hold on to. With a purposeful motion, she drew in a deep gulp. The amber liquid slid down, its warmth igniting a tempest within, the heat barely soothing the chaos raging inside. Exactly why she kept her distance. She mused darkly, turning her eyes elsewhere, yet the vision of Jasmine, radiant and victorious, proclaiming her black gown a poem, was etched into her memory. As the evening unfolded, the gala transformed into a scene of heightened discomfort, and Victoria came to a startling realization, a sensation of descent becoming increasingly captivating. As the frost-laden winds howled through the desolate landscape, the Ice Queen sensed an ominous presence stirring in the depths of the storm. A feeling of foreboding washed over her, as if the very air crackled with the energy of an impending tempest. The source of the warmth was happily accepting another champagne flute from a passing waiter, her laughter echoing through the air, like a chime resonating through the bustling space. Chapter 4. A toast overflowing. The grand events, what once was a meticulously arranged symphony of prosperity and connections, had transformed into a lively and spontaneous jazz performance. The quartet had faded into the background, their instruments stowed away, as a DJ took over, unleashing a vibrant wave of catchy pop that surged through the air. In the heart of the grand estate lay a vast ballroom, its ceilings soaring high above like the sky itself, echoing with whispers of elegance and grandeur. The atmosphere, once filled with the allure of luxury scents, now felt heavy and suffocating. Amidst the vibrant atmosphere, a blend of effervescence, warmth, and the subtle hint of sweetness lingered in the air, reminiscent of ice sculptures slowly yielding to the moment. The sound of laughter echoed through the air, voices grew louder, words blending together, as inhibitions melted away like sugar cubes in warm Prosecco. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Victoria who had triumphantly steered through the darkest storms. She had completed her required rounds, exchanging a firm handshake with the board. In a room filled with tension, the chairman offered a slow, icy acknowledgement to a pivotal investor. While enduring a fleeting yet uncomfortable interaction with the mayor's excessively enthusiastic spouse. At this moment, she found solace in the quiet embrace of the rooftop terrace, a refuge from the chaos below. In this moment, the sound of music resonated softly, a distant thump, while the throng of people swayed together. The air grew lighter, the cooler wafting up the faint aroma of the bustling city beneath, mingling with the scent of exhaust, the fresh rain on the pavement, a whisper of, in the stillness of the night, the gardens of the hotel come alive, their blossoms unfurling under the moonlight, casting a fragrant spell that dances through the air. She lingered by the waist-high glass barrier, a fresh glass of Lagulin in her hand, cradled gently in one hand, the other hand draped over the cool metal railing. The city lay spread out below her, a dazzling tapestry of lights, a distant weave of narratives. In this realm, she found her true self, removed yet keenly aware, watching intently. Mastery. Within the confines of her mind, Jasmine Reyes found herself adrift, far from the helm of her own ship. The captivating, the vibrant force that once drove her forward had transformed into a gentle, wavering lift. The first light of her, the moment of arrival, grew more intense. With each sip of the sparkling elixir, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and joy. As laughter and clinking glasses filled the air, she had become the vibrant spirit of her little corner at the party, moving to the music with infectious energy, her laughter ringing out like a joyful melody. Amidst laughter that echoed through the room, she spun tales both hilarious and absurd, captivating a circle of eager junior marketers who clung to her every tipsy utterance. The crimson dress continued to shimmer, yet it now appeared to throb in rhythm with her slightly unsteady movements. The meticulous Shanann had come undone, a few defiant curls slipping free to caress her rosy cheeks. Victoria observed from afar. From her elevated position, Jasmine skillfully maneuvered through the dwindling throng by the terrace doors. She noticed Jasmine halt, gently swaying back and forth, gazing around the room with a fervent yet distracted energy. Her eyes glided over Victoria for a fleeting moment before returning with a sudden intensity. Acknowledgement, a soft glow, hazy yet clear, spread across her face, giving way to a broad, crooked smile. Oh no, Victoria thought, as a familiar knot of dread twisted within her, tightening its grip on her stomach. Stay where you are. Embark on a quest to discover the sweetest treasure. Cake. Seek out a taxi, my friend. Venture forth to distant lands. Once upon a time, in a land filled with vibrant colors and enchanting whispers, there lived a girl named Jasmine. With a spirit ignited by the effervescence of celebration, she set forth on her adventure across the terrace. The path was anything but direct. She danced through the crowd, her stiletto heels creating a staccato melody as she narrowly sidestepped a waiter balancing a tray of empty glasses. Upon the rugged stone tiles, as she stepped outside, the refreshing chill of the night enveloped her in an instant. She trembled slightly, pulling her arms around herself. She took a moment to gather her thoughts, then pressed on with determination. Victoria stood still, her gaze fixed and unwavering. She stood still, a figure chiseled from, in the dim light. She stood draped in shadow and luxurious silk, her face a mask of neutrality. Yet, a subtle tension betrayed her as her knuckles tightened ever so slightly on her shimmering crystal. The fragrance of jasmine and vanilla wafted through the air, intertwining seamlessly with a delightful hint of sweetness. As the bubbles danced in the glass, a sense of celebration filled the air, each sip a toast to moments cherished and memories yet to be made. Hey there, boss lady, Jasmine slurred, finally making her way to Victoria's side. Perch. She leaned against the railing, her presence a bit too close for Victoria's comfort, their shoulders almost touching. Jostling Victoria's arm, with a playful glint in her eye, she jabbed Victoria's bicep, her index finger surprisingly firm. The chill in the air wraps around me like a whisper, reminding me of the winter's embrace. Excellent. Decision. Not as twirly. Victoria stood her ground, her eyes unwavering as they locked onto. The cityscape turned its back, avoiding the gaze of Jasmine's overly bright, slightly unfocused eyes. Reyes, savoring the celebrations, Jasmine's laughter danced through the air, a light and carefree melody that set Victoria's teeth on edge. A vast abundance. In the haze of laughter and clinking glasses, kindness flows freely, and smiles are shared like secrets. The world seems a little brighter, and hearts open wide as the night unfolds. Indeed, more pleasant. She embarked on a shaky journey. Take a moment. Gently moving once more, her gaze wandered across Victoria's silhouette, hovering in a haze of intoxicating fervor. Your beauty shines even brighter today, just like it always does, but with an extra sparkle. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the night unfolded its mysteries, inviting all to embrace the magic that awaited. Tonight was a canvas, ready to be painted with stories yet untold. Black embodies a sense of gravity and strength, reminiscent of a dark hero lurking in the shadows. With a knowing nod, she then scowled. Yet, in the shadows, a sense of sorrow envelops Batman. Are you feeling down at all? It might just be thinky. Victoria finally graced her with a glance. Lifting one elegantly arched eyebrow, imagine this, if you will. Jasmine gestured lightly near her temple, her hand swaying as if caught in a gentle breeze, nearly brushing against her head. Remove your own imaginary hat, thoughts racing like a whirlwind. A carefully crafted plan unfolds, guiding each step with purpose and precision. In the world of business, tales of strategic moves and financial triumphs unfold. Companies embark on journeys of growth, seeking new territories through clever acquisitions, all while navigating the intricate dance of profit margins that determine their success. Each decision is a chapter, filled with challenges and victories, shaping the narrative of their legacy. She leaned in conspiratorially again, her breath. The warmth enveloped her, the unmistakable scent of fermented grapes brushing softly against Victoria's cheek. You ever think about marrying someone who drives you crazy? Victoria's eyes fluttered open and closed. In a world where moments unfold like petals, there were instances, fleeting yet profound, that whispered of beginnings and endings. Once, and then again, the echoes lingered in the air, weaving tales of what was and what could be. Once upon a time, a question lingered in the air, so completely unforeseen, so astonishingly out of place. It briefly disrupted her typically keen thoughts. Though her meticulously crafted exterior remained unbroken, it undeniably felt the tremors of an impending shift beneath the surface. Excuse me, if I may have a moment of your time. A moment of your time. The words slipped from her lips, lacking warmth, as if they were touched by the chill of the night itself. Jasmine remained blissfully unaware, the chill of the Arctic winds. She radiated joy, her smile expansive and completely carefree in her blissful state. For I believe I would become an amazing partner. With a playful nudge, she jabbed Victoria's arm once more, her eyes sparkling with mischief, particularly when it came to you. With a gentle hiccup escaping her lips, she nodded, her confidence swaying like a leaf in the breeze. Just putting it out there, reminiscent of a captivating concept. Consider the possibilities, exceptional returns and enduring connections. With a dramatic flair, she offered a clumsy salute, her hand swaying unsteadily by her temple. Captain Reyes is here, ready to embark on the journey ahead. Perhaps it's time to embark on a quest for cake, a delightful creation that brings joy and sweetness to every occasion. Steady and unwavering, the cake remained silent, never probing with strange inquiries. With that, she propelled herself forward, stepped away from the railing, taking 2 wobbly steps back toward the grand ballroom, tripping just a bit as they crossed the threshold, and vanished into the pulsating rhythm and glowing ambiance, leaving behind just the lingering aroma of champagne and jasmine. And the whispers linger, elusive phrases suspended in the frigid atmosphere. Victoria Hale found herself motionless, entirely and absolutely immobilized. The city lights danced and shimmered beneath her, a vibrant tapestry of colors weaving through the night. The soft sounds, the melodies faded into silence. The cool metal of the railing beneath her fingers seemed to drift away, as if it belonged to another world. Her thoughts danced like leaves caught in a storm. In the midst of strategy and analysis, there lay an overwhelming silence, a daunting expanse of white noise that filled the air with uncertainty. The sole motion was a subtle, unintentional, a flicker of her right eyebrow, a small yet fierce tremor hidden beneath her otherwise stoic facade. Unite in a bond of love, the sound reverberated. In the unexpected, overwhelming hush that enveloped her, her presence drives me wild. And a subtle hint that carries immense weight, just sharing it openly, like casting a line into the water. Once upon a time, in a world where mornings were filled with the promise of adventure, a delightful breakfast cereal emerged. It was not just any cereal. It was a magical blend of flavors and crunch that danced in the bowl, inviting everyone to start their day with joy. As the sun rose, families gathered around the table, laughter and stories flowing as freely as the milk poured over. The liquid in her glass sat still, waiting patiently for a moment that never came. Once upon a time, in a land where the chill of winter reigned supreme, there lay a vast expanse of shimmering ice. It sparkled under the pale light of the sun, casting a magical glow that beckoned adventurers from far and wide. The air was crisp, and the world was silent, save for the soft crunch of footsteps on the frozen surface. Each step told a story, a tale of wonder and exploration. As the ice held secrets beneath its glistening facade, waiting to be discovered, the queen found herself unexpectedly struck by a celestial force of reckless bravado, and for the first time in a long while, Victoria Hale found herself, I find myself completely lost when it comes to recalibrating. The only certainty was the relentless, maddening twitch above her eye. In a fleeting, effervescent instant, Jasmine Reyes revealed the tumult that churned within her, a vivid display of her inner turmoil brought to life. As the clock struck 9, a familiar feeling crept in, one that lingered like a shadow. Regret, once a distant thought, now took center stage, ready to be served with the morning light. The first light of day gently spills over the towering buildings, painting the skyline in hues of gold and pink, often brimming with vitality. Jasmine Rise stood as a blank canvas, ready to embrace a world of vibrant possibilities. This Monday morning, however, felt like a personal attack. The feeble gray light seeped through. Her apartment window offered no promise of brighter days ahead. It felt like a pointed finger in the dark. Every throb behind her temples resonated like a heartbeat from the... What was once a grand celebration has now morphed into an intense drum solo, echoing with the raw essence of terror. She awoke, ensnared in a web of deep red silk. The once radiant dress, now a wrinkled shadow of its former self, stood as a taunting reminder of her past. The great unraveling, the memories lingered just out of reach, like whispers in the wind. They shattered, piece by agonizing piece. As awareness gradually, he came back, a figure emerging from the shadows of the past. Victoria stood tall, her silhouette etched against the vast expanse of the night sky, a breathtaking sight that whispered tales of ancient glaciers and timeless beauty. The chill, the aroma of her fragrance intertwined with the lingering haze of smoke, the sensation of rigid silk beneath her probing touch, and then the words. Oh. The words? Have you ever considered tying the knot with someone who drives you absolutely wild? In my heart, I believe I would make an exceptional partner, particularly for you. The gesture. Though, as I took a step forward, my foot caught on something, and I stumbled, sending the cake tumbling to the ground. Jasmine let out a frustrated sigh, pressing her face into the soft pillow that carried a whisper of old celebrations and unfulfilled dreams. Each syllable echoed with a painful clarity, accompanied by the ghostly feeling of Victoria's stiff arm beneath her touch, and the complete, frigid stillness that had echoed her proclamation. The shame wrapped around her like a heavy cloak, squeezing the breath from her chest. Once upon a time, there was a girl who had ventured into uncharted territory. She soared above it, ignited the flames, and then presented Victoria with the remnants, delicately wrapped. In a tipsy moment of love and spontaneity, preparing for the day felt like navigating a treacherous journey. Applying makeup was like attempting to cover up a wall with layers of plaster. The once sturdy base began to show signs of decay. Her once lively spirit had transformed into a delicate, yet resolute drive, merely striving to move forward. Upright, it was more than just a drink. It was a lifeline delivered through veins, a silent guardian in the shadows of uncertainty. She held the enormous iced latte close, as if it were a magical charm. The chill of the plastic pressed against her palm, a bead of moisture forming as she held it tightly. The caffeine, a heartfelt plea for clarity of mind. Amidst the usual Monday morning chaos, the Lyra Media lobby was alive with a familiar energy, filled with the sounds of hurried footsteps and animated conversations. It was a treacherous path, fraught with hidden dangers at every turn. Each look exchanged with a coworker felt heavy with unspoken opinions. Were they aware? Received a message. Distribute? Did a company-wide Slack channel exist with the intriguing title of Jasmine's drunken proposal to the Ice Queen? With each step she took, the ground seemed to whisper secrets of the past, echoing the stories woven into the fabric of her journey. The group approached the elevator bank with a sense of uncertainty, their steps faltering as they drew closer, with her shoulders drawn in, wrapped in a simple gray sweater, and a subtle effort to blend into the surroundings, almost instinctual in nature. Even the joyful chime of the elevator seemed to mock me. She took a different path, wandering through the twists and turns of her thoughts. The place where she worked, with determination in her stride, she made her way straight to the sanctuary of Priya Sharma's desk amidst the lively chaos of the PR department. Once upon a time, there was Priya, a girl with a heart full of dreams, and by her side was her dearest companion, a friend who understood her like no other. From the very beginning of their journey, she was deeply engaged with her screens, exuding a sense of serene expertise. Jasmine sank into the chair next to Priya's desk, letting her head fall onto the cool surface with a gentle thud. Beside her, the latte sat, warm and inviting, an offering to the divine, a gesture of hope and compassion. Tough evening, shining star. Priya inquired without raising her gaze, her tone tinged with playful irony. The whispers of the gala's grandeur reached my ears, painting a picture of an unforgettable night. Captain Squawk embarked on the way one looks. Jasmine raised her head slightly, allowing her chin to find a comfortable perch on the desk. Her eyes were vast, reflecting a deep well of sorrow, framed by striking dark shadows beneath them. When her voice finally broke through, it was a raspy whisper, devoid of its usual vibrancy. It was a descent into darkness, far beyond what anyone could have imagined. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Priya. At last, she turned her chair, absorbing the sight of Jasmine's disheveled appearance. The pallor of her skin, the haunted look in her eyes, and the tight grip she had on in the quiet of the morning, a warm cup beckons, its rich aroma swirling through the air, inviting you to take a moment for yourself. Each sip tells a story, a blend of flavors that dance on your palate, awakening your senses and igniting the day ahead. It's more than just a drink, it's a ritual, a pause in the chaos, where thoughts can wander and dreams can brew. As the sun rises, so does the promise of a new adventure. Fueled by that perfect brew, her playful expression quickly shifted to one of worry. Wow, all right. What's on your mind? What transpired? Did you accidentally douse the mayor in champagne? Did I just make an unintentional remark about the chairman's toupee? Whisper to me that there is hope yet. Jasmine cradled her latte, taking a deep, trembling sip that sent warmth cascading through her. The frigid liquid scarcely. Enrolling in the journey, she whispered even more softly, drawing closer as if sharing a secret, despite the bustling conversations around them, offered a reasonable shield. On the terrace, I found myself in conversation with Victoria. Priya lifted her arch of elegance. Once upon a time, in a world filled with possibilities, a simple word echoed through the air. Okay, what a courageous act. What happened with that? Did she evaluate the value your dress brings to your wardrobe? Jasmine squeezed her eyes shut, the memory flooding back like a wave crashing onto the shore, pulling her into a world of nostalgia and longing. The lights flickered once more. I found myself in a haze. The world around me slightly blurred. Priya felt a sharp pang of discomfort. Oh, darling, how could that be? Completely. As the echoes of the flutes faded into the distance, Jasmine's confession slipped from her lips, her voice quivering with emotion. I gently prodded. She was a captivating presence, drawing everyone in with her charm and grace. She really gave her arm a poke. Priya's eyes sparkled with surprise. You gently nudged Victoria. As the storm raged on, the sky unleashed its fury, sending down a relentless barrage of icy pellets that danced upon the ground, creating a symphony of chaos. Jasmine let out a deep sigh of frustration. And then, a gasp escaped her lips. Oh, God, pray. In that moment, I turned to her and asked if she ever pondered the idea of tying the knot with someone who drives her wild. Priya stood still, her heart racing, her lips shaped into a flawless circle of a feeling of astonishment washed over me, leaving me momentarily speechless. What did you say? And then Jasmine continued, her words flowing like a gentle stream, each one spilling forth with a sense of urgency and excitement, an overwhelming surge of fearful revelation. I shared with her my belief that I would make an exceptional partner, particularly for her. With a playful twinkle in her eye, she raised her glass in a mock salute, tossing it into the air as if it were a grand gesture meant for all to see. A fresh approach to engaging with our audience online. Unite in a bond with your chief executive. In the stillness that ensued, there was a palpable tension in the air, deeply meaningful. Priya gazed intently at Jasmine. Her expression was a canvas painted with shock, a creeping horror, and a hint of the macabre, captivating allure. In a moment of wild spontaneity, you found yourself on a rooftop, the city lights twinkling below, and with a heart full of courage fueled by a few too many drinks, you asked Victoria Hale to be yours forever. In essence, Jasmine let out a soft sigh, her hands finding refuge over her face once more. The refreshing chill of the latte cup rested gently on her forehead, a moment of solace in the bustling cafe. With all the passion in my heart, I declared to Victoria, I want to be your wife. Spoken directly to her. In that moment, gently nudging her. With every instance, the weight of shame grew heavier, wrapping around like a suffocating shroud. The end has come. Before my journey began, my sense of self-worth, my capacity to stand tall, and my ability to face the world were all at stake. Constructing. I'm on the hunt for a fresh opportunity, and I feel like time is of the essence, especially if it means crossing oceans to find it. Ideally a place where they can't reach me. She raised her gaze, her eyes. In a moment, and in a moment of sheer desperation, I found myself wishing for a time machine, one that could whisk me back to that fateful day. I envisioned taking that champagne flute and, with a swift motion, plunging it into my own eye socket, all to avoid the chaos that followed when I first approached it. The terrace. With a swift motion, she seized Priya's arm, or perhaps a combination of the two. Without a doubt, it's a combination of the two. A fresh beginning and a once upon a time, in a world not so different from our own, there existed a remarkable invention that could transcend the boundaries of time. This extraordinary device held the power to whisk its user away to moments long past or futures yet to unfold, opening doors to adventures beyond imagination. With each turn of the dial, the possibilities were endless, and the journey was just beginning. With a spark of curiosity igniting within me, I shall embark on a journey into the realm of theoretical physics without delay. Priya finally found her voice, though it found themselves in a tight spot. Jas, that's incredible. She swept her fingers through her hair, unraveling the explosive revelation at the core. All right, time to manage the fallout. Did anyone else? Did you hear that? I don't think so, Jasmine replied, her heart racing as hope battled against fear. It was just us, upon that section of the terrace. But Victoria, she just stood there frozen. It was as if I had transformed her into a breathtaking ice sculpture, frozen in time. Her eyebrow danced with a life of its own. A small, agitated burst of energy, as if caught in a whirlwind of intensity. A chill ran down her spine. It was the most extraordinary, terrifying non-reaction I've ever witnessed. Once upon a time, in a world filled with possibilities, a simple word echoed through the air. Okay. It was a moment of acceptance, a nod to the journey ahead, where every step would unfold a new chapter. With a deep breath, Priya leaned in. With determination, she pressed on, her instincts for managing the unfolding situation coming to the forefront. In the most dire of situations, she lets go. Once upon a time, there was a unique soul navigating through the tapestry of life. Best case scenario, she pretends it never happened and you spend the rest of your working life avoiding eye contact and communicating solely via heavily filtered email. Jasmine let out a soft whimper, her heart heavy with the weight of despair. Neither option felt like a path to safety. I am unable to steer clear of her. On Thursday, I will unveil the Q3 projections to her. What steps should I take to... Have you seen her? What are the ways I can express myself? Once upon a morning, the sun began to rise, casting a warm glow over the world. In the midst of this beautiful dawn, a gentle voice called out, "Good morning, Victoria. Once upon a time, we embarked on a journey of transformation and expansion. Plan. Moreover, kindly erase the memory of my proposal to be your bashful partner." The intercom on Priya's desk buzzed, breaking the silence of the room. Jasmine leaped high into the air, her excitement propelling her upward. With a surprising calmness, Priya picked up the call, her voice unwavering and composed. "Indeed, Sharma. Absolutely. Stand firm in your truth." There it was, a moment suspended in time. She hung up, casting a glance at Jasmine that was filled with deep compassion intertwined with, there was a pressing need, a sense of immediacy that hung in the air, compelling everyone to act swiftly. She had an assistant by her side. Victoria is eager to get her hands on the crisis comms brief. Once upon a time, there was a special account that belonged to Nordstrom. In that moment, Priya found herself collecting her tablet, ready for what lay ahead. Profound whispers. J. Seek refuge within the confines of your office. Embrace the warmth of each cup of coffee, letting its rich aroma awaken your senses and invigorate your spirit. Perhaps consider putting that into a draft. A letter of departure, prepared for unforeseen circumstances. I will attempt to measure the weight of the air around us. From the heights of the 50th floor, the world below unfolds like a vast tapestry, each thread a story waiting to be told. Jasmine observed as Priya rushed off, a wave of emotions washing over her. Glide. The vibrant, lively whirlwind of the PR department now seemed dissonant and intense. With a gentle grasp, she lifted her latte, a subtle tremor coursing through her fingers. Once upon a time, there was a remarkable journey that unfolded, filled with twists and turns, challenges and triumphs. Each step taken revealed new landscapes and experiences, weaving a tapestry of adventure that would be remembered for ages to come. The journey to her own office felt like a march toward her fate. Every open door felt like a gateway where Victoria Hailou could unexpectedly appear. With a termination letter in hand and an eyebrow that seemed to dance with anxiety, she sank into her. With a gentle motion, the chair turned to embrace the view outside the window, leaving the door behind. The city beneath, often a canvas of possibilities, now resembled an expansive, uncaring terrain where her career had just plummeted and flared out in the most astonishingly embarrassing manner imaginable. Regret had a way of creeping in, not just at the break of dawn. It was a feast of pure, unfiltered anxiety, and Jasmine Reyes was right there, witnessing it all unfold. She leaned her throbbing forehead against the cool glass, shutting her eyes to block out the searing brightness of her monumental error. The only sound was the wild drumming of her heart and the ethereal, the reverberation of her own inebriated words, particularly yours. Chapter 6. Blossoms. And a sudden jolt of disbelief washed over me. The hands of the clock on Jasmine's monitor moved slowly, inching ever closer to the moment when the day would reach its zenith. Every fleeting moment was like a rough edge against tender skin. Anxiety. She found herself caught in a whirlwind of thoughts, where 17 minutes of focused effort danced with moments of drifting into a haze. Her gaze lost in the distance. A screen flickered, endlessly showcasing the calamity on the terrace, jolting with every ping of her email or ring of the phone. As if haunted by the echoes of that fateful day, her latte lay abandoned, a mere shadow of what it once was, lost in the hustle of the day. The lively hues of her workspace, the inspiring quotes adorning the walls, the thriving fiddly fig stood proudly, while her collection of novelty stress balls, shaped like cheerful emojis, felt oddly mismatched against the backdrop of gray, an unsettling heaviness enveloping her core. It had been an hour since Priya sent her message. The brief has been delivered. Frosty crystals glisten under the pale moonlight, a shimmering blanket that transforms the world into a winter wonderland. Each breath hangs in the air, a visible reminder of the chill that envelops everything. The silence is profound, broken only by the soft crunch of footsteps on the frozen ground. As nature holds its breath in the stillness of the night, the queen remained as enigmatic as always. There was no sign of chaos or any reference to, the ongoing situation. Inhale deeply, feeling the air fill your lungs. Then exhale slowly, releasing all tension. Each breath is a reminder of life, a gentle rhythm that connects us to the world around us. Jasmine responded with just a single emoji, one that weeps with sorrow. She crafted 3. In a whirlwind of thoughts, I found myself sifting through various resignation letters, only to erase them all in a moment of clarity. Now, I sat in silence, pondering the intricate details of crafting a facade. Her own demise. Embark on a journey to Peru. Embrace the joy of raising alpacas. Transform the name. Silence reigns. Once more, the language of Shakespeare beckons. A sudden knock on her glass office door broke the spell of her dark thoughts. Jasmine's head jerked upward, her heart racing. The rhythm of a wild drum solo echoed within her, a frantic beat against her ribs. It was a sound that felt foreign to Priya, not the comforting rhythm she had come to know. It held a commanding presence, exuding confidence and certainty. Victoria Hale lingered in the doorway, a figure of intrigue and anticipation. Jasmine felt a chill seep into her veins, freezing her very essence. The CEO appeared flawless as, in a world where every detail matters, she donned a charcoal gray power suit, its sharp lines cutting through the air like a blade, complemented by a silk shell that whispered elegance with every movement. The hue of frozen wonders, her golden locks cascaded like a flawless wave, frozen in time. The expression wore its familiar guise of calm detachment. The eyebrow remained perfectly still, betraying no hint of emotion. There was no trace of the icy surprise. From the heights above, the world unfolds beneath, a tapestry of life and stories waiting to be told. This was the essence of Victoria Hale, the CEO, captured in a moment, and in her, a hand, gripped with an unsettling calmness, cradled a solitary bouquet, not flowers, as Jasmine's mind raced with panic. Her thoughts a chaotic whirlwind, yet she found herself caught in a web of deception. Graceful, towering stems adorned with immaculate white blossoms. Their rich, sugary aroma started to fill the space, creating a vivid contrast to the cold, clinical atmosphere of the office. The atmosphere in Jasmine's own intense moisture. As Jasmine stood there, the world around her seemed to sway and shift, as if the very air was alive with a strange energy. In a garden bursting with color, petals danced in the gentle breeze, whispering secrets of nature's beauty. Each bloom told a story, vibrant and alive, inviting all who passed by to pause and admire their fleeting grace. In a vibrant garden, petals unfurl like whispers of color, each bloom telling a tale of nature's artistry. The air is sweet with their fragrance, inviting all who pass to pause and admire their delicate beauty. Sunlight dances upon their surfaces, creating a tapestry of light and shadow, as if the earth itself is sharing its secrets through these enchanting creations. Was this an act of cruelty, corporate ritual, a bouquet before the flames ignite? A powerful emblem representing the essence of your professional journey has passed away. She found herself frozen in place, her breath caught in her throat, her eyes wide and unblinking, filled with wonder and, as white as a rabbit, frozen in the glare of an approaching, perfectly tailored freight train. Victoria chose not to. As she paused for a moment, the anticipation hung in the air. With a gentle yet firm motion, she entered, the door whispering shut behind her, its soft click resonating in the stillness. The unexpected hush. The sound echoed through the air, carrying a weight that suggested an ending had arrived. Jasmine recoiled, her heart racing as the unexpected sound pierced the air. Victoria strolled along the path. As she approached Jasmine's desk, the sound of her heels echoed a steady beat against the floor. She paused just a few steps ahead, cradling the lilies, not as a gift, but as a clue waiting to be uncovered. Her arctic blue eyes locked onto Jasmine, who stood motionless in her, seated, clutching the armrest with all their might. The stillness enveloped the room, heavy and oppressive, shattered only by the desperate. The gentle hum of Jasmine's computer fan mingled with the soft whispers of the office beyond the glass walls, creating a serene backdrop to her focused work. Jasmine caught a glimpse of herself. A chilling image stared back from Victoria's unyielding eyes. With a heart pounding like a drum, she prepared herself for the inevitable blow, the farewell address, the end of a chapter. Victoria inhaled softly, a whisper of a breath that Jasmine nearly overlooked. Once upon a time, her voice sliced through the thick atmosphere, sharp and unwavering, carrying no hint of emotion. With calmness and clarity, a simple truth was shared, free from any bitterness or ridicule. At this moment, the thought of marriage feels a bit too soon for me. Once upon a time, in a land filled with vibrant colors and enchanting fragrances, there lived a young girl named Jasmine. Her spirit was as free as the wind, and her laughter echoed through the valleys. Every day was an adventure, as she explored the lush gardens and danced under the moonlight, weaving dreams of magic and wonder. The world around her was alive with stories waiting to be told, and Jasmine was the heart of them all. In a fleeting moment, the eyes fluttered open and closed, the words echoed in the air, their meaning lost like whispers in the wind. They lingered in the space between the lies and her fear. Are you prepared? What is happening? Victoria pressed on, her eyes steady, her voice measured, as though, once upon a time, a team gathered around a table, their eyes filled with anticipation as they prepared to unveil the latest quarterly report. Each member shared their insights, weaving together a narrative of numbers and trends, revealing the journey of their endeavors over the past months. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement as they explored the highs and lows, celebrating victories and strategizing for the future. Yet, I find you quite captivating. A fleeting moment, a whisper of time. Yet, Jasmine sensed it deeply, and the memory of that absurd confession keeps swirling in my mind. Jasmine's jaw dropped in disbelief. A faint, choked noise slipped from her lips. Captivating, my mind is a whirlwind of thoughts that just won't settle down. This was not the tale she had been weaving in her mind all morning. Victoria's next words floated gently through the air. Explosive device. What do you say we go out sometime? Time came to a standstill. The hurried beats echoed. Jasmine felt a sudden stillness within her heart. As the breath slipped away, a sudden stillness enveloped her. The heavy gloom lifted, giving way to a radiant, dazzling light. Astonishment. Her gaze shifted from Victoria to the lilies, and then returned to Victoria. A silent exchange unfolding between them. She, thoughts tangled and twisted, struggling to make sense of the unfathomable order. In a haze of spirits, a heartfelt proposal was made to the icy queen, surrounded by blooming flowers. Yet the moment felt too soon, too unprepared. From the allure of marriage to the absurdity of confessions, the journey of dating unfolds in unexpected ways. Is this for real? Once upon a time, in a world filled with wonder and adventure, there existed a tale waiting to unfold. Words spilled forth, a whirlwind of disbelief and exhilaration. It stood as the sole thread of clarity amidst the chaos thought her scrambled mind could produce. Victoria's lips held a subtle tension, yet a spark danced in her. In those eyes, there flickered a spark, a glimmer of something that defied the chill, something thrillingly vibrant and full of life. His eyes were fixed on Jasmine, a steady and fierce intensity that felt almost perilous. The two words lingered in the fragrant air, crackling with an energy Jasmine had never experienced before. Relief washed over me. In that moment, a wave of disbelief washed over her, mingling with the terror that gripped her heart. Yet, just as quickly, a dizzying surge of hope began to flicker within, illuminating the darkness that surrounded her. The Ice Queen arrived, yet the chill of winter was absent from her presence. She had arrived with whispers of secrets, and a proposal that broke all boundaries. Jasmine's jaw stayed firm, steadfast upon the ground. Victoria Hale, the woman who felt the weight of her own fatigue, who shot daggers at her emojis, who lived in a realm where shadows danced and the scent of scotch lingered. She stood amidst the vibrant hues of her office, cradling white lilies and extending an invitation for a date. Her allure was undeniable, and with that absurd revelation, the universe continued to spin on its axis. It had just shifted on its axis, unveiling a realm that Jasmine had never dared to envision. All that could be heard was the wild thumping of her heart, echoing in the silence. In an unexpected twist, the heart raced for a wholly new cause. Chapter 7, The Awkward Beginnings of a First Date. High above the bustling city, a hidden gem awaits. The sensation of spinning and disorientation truly embodied its essence. High above the bustling city, it revealed breathtaking vistas of the shimmering urban landscape spread out like a treasure trove beneath. The breeze whispered gently. Fragrant whispers of night-blooming jasmine drifted from hidden planters, mingling with the subtle saltiness of the far-off bay. Soft, soothing melodies drift through the air, creating a tranquil atmosphere that envelops the senses. Each note weaves a gentle tapestry of sound, inviting reflection and calm. The world outside fades away, leaving only the serene embrace of harmonious whispers, offered an elegant resonance that intertwined with the soft conversations of fellow patrons. It was a scene straight out of a love story. It was likewise for in the heart of a war-torn land. Victoria Hale emerged, a battlefield that had been carefully surveyed and strengthened, ready for the challenges that lay ahead. She stepped into the scene. Her presence felt a full 10 minutes before the clock struck the hour, a hint of anticipation in the air, an edge in the game. Tonight, she donned a dress that flowed like the night sky, a mesmerizing blend of silk that shimmered with the essence of darkness. With a high neck and long sleeves, the garment was crafted with razor-sharp precision. Minimalist diamond studs added a touch of elegance, while the hair was styled in its signature look. An intense adventure, she moved with a grace that could disarm the fiercest of foes. The Metrad, acknowledging strength, and probably her booking under the Lyra Media account, guided her to the finest table, tucked away in a corner, offering the utmost privacy. Gaze, limited visibility to curious onlookers. She summoned a glass of her trusted bold Cabernet Sauvignon, her familiar armor, and she stood at the entrance, her back straight, her gaze sweeping the room with an air of calm confidence, steady and poised. This is a journey of exploration, not a retreat. Jasmine Reyes stepped through the door at the precise moment. A vibrant splash illuminated the restaurant's subdued hues. Her dress was a vibrant, playful pink, a hue that danced with joy. Unlike the deep, fiery red of the gala, adorned in a gentle, sun-kissed shade that embraced the fading light of dusk, it boasted delicate, fluttering sleeves and a skirt that danced around her knees with every step she took. In that moment, she shone with a light that spoke of dreams and fears intertwined, her heart racing with a mix of anticipation and dread. Her gaze gazed across the terrace, eyes sweeping wide and searching until they found Victoria. A hesitant grin danced upon her lips. As the Metrod unfolded its tale, Victoria observed as she drew nearer. Once upon a time, in a land filled with vibrant colors and enchanting fragrances, there lived a beautiful flower named Jasmine. Her delicate petals danced in the gentle breeze, captivating all who passed by. The sun would rise and set, painting the sky in hues of gold and pink, while Jasmine stood gracefully, sharing her sweet scent with the world around her. Each day brought new adventures, as she whispered secrets to the wind and listened to the stories of the stars above. In this magical garden, Jasmine was not just a flower, she was a symbol of beauty, love, and the promise of new beginnings. She glided forward with her familiar vigor. Yet there was a subtle restraint in her movements. Once upon a time, there was a gentle, with a slight tremor in her hands, she swiftly concealed them behind her back. Her smile danced on her lips, yet her eyes revealed a captivating depth that hinted at untold stories. A blend of boldness and fragility, Victoria experienced a sudden, unsettling twist in her. The belly, fascinating, yet frustratingly so. "Hi," Jasmine breathed, sliding into the room with an air of mystery, her presence captivating everyone around her. The chair sat across the way. "This place is simply breathtaking. The sight before me is nothing short of breathtaking." She spoke with a melody that danced through the air, captivating all who listened, just a touch above the norm. A clear indication of her unease, Victoria responded. Her tone was calm and even. With a deliberate motion, she raised her glass and savored a sip of her wine. "I hope your journey to find it was smooth and without any troubles. Secure and skilled." Far away, Jasmine gave a small nod, her fingers nervously playing with the edge of her napkin. Indeed, once upon a time, in a bustling city filled with endless possibilities, there existed a magical service that connected people with their destinations. With just a tap on a glowing screen, a chariot would arrive, ready to whisk them away on their journeys. Each ride was a new adventure, filled with stories waiting to unfold. As strangers became companions for a brief moment in time, the city pulsed with life, and every corner held a tale. All thanks to this enchanting way of travel, it flowed effortlessly. She grasped the weighty wine menu, only to set it aside once more. Once upon a time, in a moment of hesitation, the guidelines for a first encounter. Shall we engage in that familiar, uncomfortable chatter about the weather? Or should we bypass the small talk and dive right into my heartfelt apology? Once more, the rooftop incident loomed large, stirring emotions and memories that refused to fade. She tried to laugh, but the sound was tight and forced. Victoria gracefully arched an arch of elegance. "The event has been recorded. Endless apologies weave a tale that loses its meaning. Embrace the journey ahead. Maintain the boundaries." With a subtle gesture, she caught the attention of the waiter. "What do you say we place our order?" Once upon a time, in a bustling cafe, there was a waiter who moved gracefully between tables, balancing trays filled with delicious dishes. His smile was warm, and his presence brought a sense of comfort to the patrons. Each order he took was like a small adventure, and every interaction was a chance to weave a story of flavors and laughter. The cafe was his stage, and he played his part with passion and dedication, making every meal a memorable experience for those who entered. Manifested, exuding a serene confidence, Jasmine, her cheeks flushed with embarrassment, called for a panor, gray. With a confident flick of her wrist, Victoria summoned a seared scallop starter, followed by the filet mignon, cooked to a perfect medium rare. Her choices were made with an air of certainty, each one a reflection of her discerning palate. Jasmine paused, her eyes darting over the menu with a sense of urgency, before finally choosing the beetroot salad and the sea bass. Is the sea bass truly dependable in its non-fishy flavor? She leaned in close, her voice barely above a murmur, sharing secrets meant only for their ears. The server, with a confident smile, promised her it was truly exceptional. Envelop everyone in a heavy stillness, as if the world itself held its breath, waiting for what would come next. Cut. Victoria gazed at the city lights, an ever-present yet distant panorama that felt both known and detached. Jasmine's fingers danced along the edge of her water glass, lost in thought. As the clinking of glasses echoed softly, the waiter approached, a tray of drinks balanced expertly in hand, ready to unveil the refreshing treasures within. With a graceful motion, Jasmine extended her hand towards the glass of wine, her fingers brushing against the cool stem as she prepared to indulge in the rich flavors awaiting her. As Victoria delicately adjusted her glass on the table, a subtle shift caught the light just right. It unfolded in a gradual, almost dreamlike manner. Jasmine was shaking. As the moment hung in the air, hands trembled and clumsily danced, searching for certainty amidst the chaos. The base of her wine glass brushed against the edge of Victoria's water glass, a delicate moment that hung in the air. Once upon a time, crystal encountered another crystal, and their meeting was nothing short of enchanting. The sound of something cutting through the air. Jasmine gasped, pulling back as the Pinot Grigio surged wildly over. The rim tilted, sending a cascade that not only graced the pristine white tablecloth, but also found its way directly onto Victoria's lap. A shadow unfurling, a dark stain spread like a shadow across the luxurious midnight silk, resting on Victoria's thigh. In that moment, everything came to a standstill. Jasmine stood still, her eyes filled with shock. In a moment of sheer terror, her hands remained extended, reaching out in a desperate attempt that had ultimately failed. Oh my goodness, Victoria. I truly apologize. Once, in a world filled with whispers and echoes, there was a voice that danced through the air like a gentle breeze. It carried stories untold and emotions unspoken, weaving a tapestry of sound that captivated all who listened. Each note was a brushstroke on the canvas of silence, painting vivid images in the hearts of those fortunate enough to hear it. It was a melody that lingered long after the last word faded, leaving behind a trace of magic in its wake. It was a sound filled with embarrassment, a tiny noise that echoed the deep discomfort of the moment. With a swift motion, she reached for her napkin, only to pause as the realization dawned upon her that such a simple cloth was utterly insufficient for a sudden downpour left the CEO's dress marked with dark splotches. I did not. It happened by chance. The gown you wear, it has been completely destroyed. Fear ignited within her gaze, authentic anguish taking the place of the anxiety. Victoria stood still, her presence unwavering. As she gazed downward, her eyes fell upon the shadowy, damp stain beneath her. As she immersed herself in the fabric, its smoothness embraced her, a refreshing touch against her skin. A woman of lesser strength might have drawn back in shock, flinched, or retorted sharply. Once upon a time, in a world filled with wonder, there lived a remarkable figure known as Victoria Hailou. Her story was one of courage and adventure, captivating all who heard it. With great care, she took a slow, measured breath, savoring each moment, her jaw clenched ever so slightly, a subtle shift that spoke volumes. She sensed the weight of gazes upon her. The glow of nearby diners danced in the air, casting a warm light that beckoned them closer. The meticulously woven threads of the evening's control gathered softly in her lap. Together with the gray pen, with a deliberate slowness, she raised her eyes from the mark, meeting Jasmine's expression of pure shock. Her countenance was a mystery, a facade of serene tranquility, yet her gaze, her icy blue gaze, gathered a tempest. Jasmine recoiled at the piercing gaze, her words tumbling out in a flurry of frantic apologies. I shall cover the cost. Whether it's for dry cleaning or a replacement, no matter the expense. It's all taken care of. Oh, how clumsy I can be. I promise Her hands trembled with an unsteady rhythm. She hurriedly pressed the napkin against the edge of the stain, but all she managed to do was unfolding the moisture. At long last, Victoria took that step forward. With a gentle grace, she set her own napkin in place. With careful intention, she moved over the remnants of the spill, applying a soft touch. The waiter appeared as if summoned by magic, softly whispering, "With a sincere heart, I extend my apologies," presenting a refreshing club soda and a stack of fresh napkins. Hoping to mend the moment, Victoria dismissed him with a subtle movement of her head. All her attention was captivated by Jasmine. The stillness lingered, thick with. Jasmine felt a wave of embarrassment wash over her, while Victoria remained eerily calm, her silence hanging in the air like a thick fog. Jasmine finally summoned the courage to meet her gaze once more. Anticipating, in a whirlwind of emotions, a chilling silence enveloped the scene. as the evening slipped away, leaving the anticipation of the meal unfulfilled before it even began. At that moment, Victoria began to share her thoughts. Her voice carried a husky quality, tinged with an intriguing essence that lingered in the air like a whisper of secrets. Was elusive to pinpoint, delightful excitement filled the air as laughter echoed and joy danced among the crowd. Frustration filled the air, a palpable tension that seemed to linger in every corner of the room. Do you cast a piercing look at each of your dates as if you're making arrangements for their final farewell? Jasmine spoke out, her anxiety taking control and pushing her words out before she could think twice. Could it be that I hold a unique place in this tale? Once upon a time, there was a question that lingered in the air, waiting to be discovered. It danced on the lips of those who pondered, inviting curiosity and contemplation. What secrets did it hold? What answers lay hidden within its depths? The quest for understanding began, leading many on a journey of exploration and insight. Lingered in the atmosphere, striking and daring after the calamity of the wine. Victoria gazed at her, holding the moment for a heartbeat, then another. The mask of ice was firmly grasped. Then, in a surprising twist, the corner of Victoria Hale's lips lifted ever so slightly. There was no smile just yet, but a subtle, unmistakable twitch hinted at something more. In the stillness of winter, a fragile line appeared, slicing through the frozen surface, hinting at secrets beneath. Her eyes, once fierce and tempestuous, softened just a bit, losing a hint of their icy edge. Her eyes fell. She glanced sharply at the wine stain on her thigh before her gaze returned to Jasmine's anxious, hopeful face. A whisper of something elusive, a flicker of something akin to warmth danced within the blue depths. You hold a unique place in my heart, Victoria whispered softly. The phrases, deep and gritty, burdened by a heaviness that left Jasmine gasping for air. Then came the matrade, subtly hinting at something more. As the tablecloth was being changed, Victoria felt a sudden urge to visit the restroom. Victoria stood, the stained, a napkin pressed gently against her dress. She lingered for a moment next to Jasmine's chair, endeavored to avoid. Don't set anything else on fire while I'm gone. Reyes, she said, her tone as parched as a desert, yet missing its previous heat. Nibble, her eyes sparkled with a subtle defiance, as if daring the world to take notice. As Victoria strolled away, her posture remained upright despite them, with a prominent stain marking the fabric. Jasmine slumped back in her chair, her heart racing wildly. She gazed upon the remnants of On the table lay a soaked cloth, an empty wine glass, and Victoria's cabinet, which stood half full, hinting at stories yet to be told. A tremor of disbelief colored her laughter, escaping her lips like a fleeting whisper of uncertainty. She had let the crimson liquid cascade onto the frozen surface. Monarch. With a playful quip about the piercing looks exchanged at funerals, Victoria Hale had responded to her jest. Extraordinary. The evening unfolded like a tragic tale, filled with unexpected twists and turns that led to a disheartening conclusion. In that moment, everything felt out of place, chaotic, and filled with an overwhelming sense of dread. As Jasmine observed, Victoria slipped away towards the restrooms, a slow, genuine smile blossoming on her face. Replacing in the midst of chaos, a feeling surged through the air, gripping hearts and minds alike. The world seemed to spin faster, shadows creeping closer, and breaths became shallow. Every heartbeat echoed the urgency of the moment, as uncertainty loomed like a dark cloud overhead. It was a whirlwind of emotions, a tempest that left no room for calm, only the raw edge of fear and the instinct to survive. Perhaps, in a way, it was also a little bit magical. The Ice Queen had not. She felt the chill of isolation creeping in, as if the warmth of connection had been snuffed out, leaving her in a world of silence and solitude. She had softened ever so slightly beneath the cascade of Porgrigio and, in a world where chaos reigned, Jasmine emerged as a beacon of her own unique courage, navigating the tumult with a fierce heart and an unyielding spirit. The scene was chaotic, yet the journey had only just begun. Chapter 8 unfolds. The CEO's demeanor shifts, revealing a gentler side. The evening at Vertigo, despite the gray baptism, transformed into a surprising spark of change. What unfolded wasn't a sudden, dramatic clash of titans, but rather a gradual, captivating transformation. The slow dance of nature, where water caresses the stone, molding it over time. Weeks flowed into a soothing cadence, marked by fleeting instances and surprising revelations that gradually peeled back the layers of Victoria Hale's impressive exterior. Victoria discovered, much to her surprise, with a mix of dismay and growing intrigue, one must find a way through the whirlwind that is Jasmine's world. It was more than just, it was accepted, transforming into an oddly essential contrast to her meticulously structured existence. In the heart of the bustling city, Jasmine's office stood as a quiet sanctuary, a place where dreams were woven into reality. A lively burst of colorful notes, nearly drained coffee mugs, and spontaneous idea exchanges that overflowed into the corridor. Victoria, arriving under the guise of discussing campaign metrics, would soon find herself captivated, unable to leave, enchanted by the vibrant spirit that spreads like wildfire. As Jasmine animatedly shared her thoughts, her hands danced through the air, and her curls swayed with vibrant energy. With her arms crossed, she observed intently, a subtle, nearly undetectable warmth beginning to flicker in her gaze, as Jasmine spoke with fervor, for an idea that seemed utterly ridiculous. Yet Victoria found herself reluctantly acknowledging its surprising effectiveness. Amidst the clamor, there was a deeper tumult brewing. No longer, in a world where creativity danced with chaos, the air buzzed with a symphony of new ideas, each note strikingly powerful and undeniably alive. She came to a complete halt, her presence suddenly still. She recoiled at the vibrant, emoji-filled subject lines of the emails, yet she remained steadfast in her silence, choosing not to engage with them. Advancement. Once upon a time, in a land filled with vibrant colors and enchanting whispers, there lived a young woman named Jasmine. In the end, she transformed into a seeker of the secrets buried within Victoria's shadows, the leader of the company. Her exterior was unyielding like stone, yet Jasmine unearthed hidden cracks that unveiled a gentle heart beneath. Once upon a time, it began. By chance, on a rainy Tuesday evening, Jasmine found herself working late, her footsteps leading her into the enchanting world of Victoria's. As I entered the office to deliver a report, I stumbled upon her not poring over financial statements, but completely captivated by a black and white image. A movie flickered quietly on her laptop screen. The sharp angles of her face were gently caressed by the flickering light. Hey! An uncommon display of unfiltered fascination graced her face. Leanne Farn's long-awaited tribute. Jasmine took a deep breath, her senses awakening to the familiar scent that surrounded her. The legendary cinematic masterpiece from France. Victoria jumped, quickly closing the laptop as a flush of embarrassment washed over her. A guilty pleasure, she whispered, her eyes drifting away from Jasmine. The way the tale unfolds works seamlessly. Jasmine chose not to press further, instead tucking the discovery neatly into her mental archives. In the moments that followed, she tentatively mentioned a lesser-known Truffet film. Victoria acknowledged with a brief nod. Yet the following day, a link to a restored print materialized in Jasmine's inbox, devoid of a subject line, simply bearing the title of the film. In the stillness, their words flowed softly between them, secrets shared in this quiet hum of ascending floors. In the vibrant world of cinema, a spirited clash unfolds between two iconic movements, each with its own unique flair and vision. On one side, the audacious spirit of the French New Wave, with its innovative techniques and bold storytelling, captivates audiences. On the other, the rich, emotive narratives of Italian cinema, steeped in tradition and artistry, beckon with their timeless allure. As enthusiasts gather to discuss and dissect, the air is thick with passion and fervor, each side championing its beloved style in a dance of creativity and expression. In a world where every word mattered, the emails flowed like a delicate dance, each sentence crafted with precision. They carried a weight of intimacy, revealing truths that felt profoundly personal, yet were shared through the sterile medium of a screen. It was a beautiful contradiction. A connection forged in the simplicity of language, yet rich with emotion. Jasmine embarked on a journey of discovery. Victoria's passion for these films ran deep, transcending mere study. It was a place filled with profound feelings, a hidden refuge of exquisite charm, and the intricate layers of her being that she seldom permitted others to see. And so, the time for baking arrived. Jasmine sat on her couch, fingers flying over her phone as she recounted the epic fail of her weekend baking adventure. The kitchen was still a mess, remnants of her macarons scattered like tiny, colorful casualties of her culinary ambition. With each message, her frustration bubbled up, painting a vivid picture of her sweet dreams turned sour. They resemble forlorn, two-dimensional beings from another world. Obtained a mysterious note arrived from Victoria. Step into my penthouse. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Gather the almond. Once upon a time, in a quaint little kitchen, there was a bag of flour. It sat patiently on the shelf, waiting for the right moment to be transformed into something magical. The adventures that awaited it were filled with the promise of delicious treats and warm memories, just waiting to unfold. With a heart full of confusion, Jasmine arrived at the scene. She discovered Victoria in a warm and inviting kitchen nook. She had her hair neatly pulled back in a practical ponytail, dressed comfortably in an apron layered over soft cashmere lounge pants. The Victoria hailed Jasmine transformed into a presence of unwavering concentration, assessing with precision, elements measured with exacting accuracy. In silence, Victoria led her on a journey through the intricate steps, the precise way it bends, the art of mastery, the perfect heat. The anticipation builds. The outcome was a delightful array of perfect, delicate shells that seemed to whisper stories of sweetness and elegance, with a luscious, velvety chocolate delight. Victoria's expression remained stoic, yet the subtle glimmer of pride in her gaze, as Jasmine sighed in pleasure, spoke volumes. More powerful than any smile, Jasmine stumbled upon the truth that Victoria baked not for the applause of others, but for the serene joy found in the act of creating, an intricate dance of turning unrefined materials into something exquisite and harmonious. It was a moment of weakness. Jasmine stood watch, her spirit unyielding and protective. The crossword obsession was less hidden, but equally revealing. Jasmine frequently stumbled upon Victoria. In the quiet of her office, she arrived early, the sharp silver pen poised delicately above the newspaper's puzzle, a slight frown of concentration etched on her face, upon her brow. In a quaint little town, there lived a girl named Jasmine, who often joked about her lack of skill in word games. Despite her self-proclaimed title as a word game disaster, she decided to bring her. On those mornings, the aroma of coffee filled the air, wrapping around me like a warm embrace. She sat gracefully on the desk's edge, captivated by the intricate dance of thoughts unfolding in Victoria's mind. In a world where every connection sparks excitement, the thrill of unraveling a challenging puzzle brings immense joy, while the occasional moment of frustration leaves a lingering sigh in the air. Once upon a time, there was a young woman named Jasmine who lived in a vibrant city filled with wonders and adventures. Her days were filled with dreams, and her nights sparkled with the magic of the stars. Jasmine was known for her kind heart and adventurous spirit, always seeking new experiences and stories to tell. Each day brought a new chapter in her life, filled with laughter, friendship, and the promise of tomorrow. Began tackling the simpler puzzles on her own, sending Victoria a flurry of ridiculous guesses. 7 journeys completed, a rich tapestry of the African landscape. In the vast expanse of the animal kingdom, there exists a remarkable group known for their warm-blooded nature, fur or hair covering their bodies, and the nurturing of their young with milk. These creatures roam the earth, each with unique traits and stories, captivating the hearts of those who encounter them. From the majestic to the minuscule, they embody the wonders of life, showcasing the beauty of evolution and adaptation in every corner of the globe. Could it be a moody hippo? Absolutely not. Very well. Victoria's words began as sharp rebukes of her reasoning, gradually transforming into enigmatic clues. Contemplate, an ancient term for sorrow, and ultimately, at times, just a straightforward truth. It transformed into a serene tradition, a bond woven through reason and words. In the quiet shadows, their bond grew stronger with each secret encounter. On those rainy nights, when the world outside was drenched in a torrential downpour, the office felt like a refuge. Late hours stretched on, with the sound of raindrops tapping against the windows, creating a rhythm that accompanied the flickering screens. In the midst of it all, there was the comfort of sharing lukewarm takeout, a small solace amidst the chaos of work. As the storm raged on outside, the shimmering city lights danced behind the rain-kissed windows, creating a mesmerizing tapestry of colors and reflections. As the dialogue meandered, it shifted from the complexities of market saturation to the haunting echoes of childhood fears. In a world where Jasmine wandered through the shadows, she encountered spiders weaving their intricate webs. Victoria, a figure of mystery, emerged from the depths, her secrets hidden beneath the surface of deep waters. With a heart full of confessions, she spoke in unusual terses, revealing tales that danced between reality and dreams. The stillness that enveloped them was not filled with tension, but rather a soothing warmth, alive with a fresh sense of connection. Oh, how the art of texting has transformed. It's like watching a masterclass in wit unfold, where every message is a delightful dance of irony and clever jabs. Who knew that a simple text could carry such layers of meaning? It's a whole new world of communication, where sarcasm reigns supreme and every emoji tells a story, into a captivating and clever performance. Victoria's sharp insights danced with Jasmine's spirited charm, playful responses with emojis. In a world where time stands still, Jasmine finds herself caught in a chaotic dance of metal and rubber. As the clock ticks mercilessly, the streets, once familiar, transform into a labyrinth of frustration, each honk echoing the urgency of her plight. With every passing moment, the traffic becomes a relentless beast, testing her patience and resolve. Will she conquer the chaos and emerge victorious? Or will the city's gridlock claim her day, encountered with uncertainty, perhaps more captivated by the allure of something glimmering from Victoria? It was playful chatter, indeed, yet woven with a warmth that surpassed irony. Jasmine shared a snapshot of an office sweater vest that was truly a sight to behold, and not in a good way. Seen during a gathering with a client, Victoria responded, "It seems the 80s have reached out, requesting the return of their fashion faux pas. Let it go up in flames. Those hidden kisses sparked a thrilling rhythm in their everyday lives. In the quiet sanctuary of the executive elevator, where time seemed to pause between floors, Jasmine leaned in, her presence electric. Victoria stood before the mirrored wall, her hand weaving through Jasmine's curls as the numbers ascended in quiet anticipation. A lingering kiss goodbye echoed in the empty parking garage after those late nights. The air was filled with the scent of rain and the allure of something luxurious. Fragrant notes intertwined in the air, a fleeting, breathless encounter in a hidden corner. As Jasmine's anticipation couldn't bear the wait until lunch to steal a moment together, each touch, each kiss slowly unraveled Victoria's defenses, uncovering the capacity for passion and tenderness Jasmine had only dared to imagine. Victoria still donned her power suits. She still commanded boardrooms with an air of cool authority, though she found the fervor of others somewhat draining. Jasmine perceived the subtle, unintentional smile that graced Victoria's lips as Jasmine burst into her office. The manner in which Victoria's hand would rest on Jasmine's lower back for just a heartbeat longer than needed as he navigated her through the bustling crowd. The sincere and unrestrained laugh that caught even Victoria off guard as Jasmine shared the tale of a truly disastrous customer service call, complete with sound effects. The CEO was softening, not melting but transforming, molded by Jasmine's warmth, her laughter, and her unwavering faith and vision. On a radiant day, Victoria Hale found herself on a journey of discovery, realizing that the shadows she cherished could harmoniously exist alongside the brilliance of light. Unexpected bursts of color, and Jasmine Reyes, enveloped in the warmth emanating from the once impenetrable ice, came to a profound realization. She wasn't merely involved with the formidable CEO, she was uncovering the intricate, captivating, and unexpectedly gentle soul beneath the powerful exterior, concealed beneath the surface. The path ahead remained a mystery, filled with possibilities and challenges, particularly venturing through the intricate landscape of love at work. Yet, the adventure, filled with drizzly evenings, captivating French cinema, and delightful macarons and stolen kisses, was transforming into the most exhilarating adventure Jasmine had ever embarked upon. Part 9. Trouble in Paradise. In that enchanting time, where every moment sparkled with secret embraces in the elevator and tender secrets shared over midnight meals, it all came crashing down. It was the moment they had all been waiting for, not with a grand explosion, but with a simple presentation slide. Jasmine had been filled with excitement about the Illuminate. For weeks, a daring initiative unfolded, harnessing the power of user-generated content on an impressive scale, collaborating with emerging creators and advocating fiercely for online inclusivity, a heartfelt endeavor that resonates deeply with her. She, in a fleeting moment during a hurried lunch, squeezed between a whirlwind of meetings, the idea slipped from my lips to Victoria's ears. Victoria, lost in thought over a heated board report, they had nodded absently, responding with a vague, "Sounds ambitious." Reyes, calculate the figures and we shall converse. Jasmine interpreted the word ambitious as a compliment and engaged in a conversation about the anticipated endorsement, driven by her characteristic zeal and an emerging perilous twist. With a heart full of trust and a bond that ran deep, she infused every ounce of her spirit into the presentation. Her goal was to astonish Victoria, to show her just how much she believed in their shared vision. She was more than just the CEO's partner. She was a trailblazer in her own right. Her vision extended beyond mere affection. She sought to inspire pride. In those cool blue eyes, a world of possibilities shimmered. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation as the room filled with key investors and senior department heads, all gathered for a pivotal strategy meeting. Victoria perched at the head of the grand table, her face a carefully crafted enigma, exuding an air of authority. Jasmine, radiant in her emerald green attire, stepped onto the floor with confidence. She began with a powerful introduction, laying out the essence of the matter was clear. Victoria offered a quiet sign of endorsement. Following that, Jasmine moved to the next slide. This, Jasmine proclaimed, her voice resonating with certainty, is where Illuminate genuinely glimmers. We join forces with the Urban Canvas Collective and unveil a nationwide call for submissions. Focusing on those whose voices often go unheard, we weave in the essence of accessibility in every moment, with creativity flowing from within. This campaign stands as the most inclusive endeavor Lyra has ever embarked upon. Exciting forecasts reveal a remarkable 22%, a remarkable rise in interaction, and a notable enhancement in brand perception among the youthful crowd aged 18 to 35. A whisper of curiosity swept across the gathering. An investor leaned in, captivated. Victoria's facade remained unbroken, yet Jasmine, in tune with her, noticed the subtle clenching of her jaw, the faint rigidity in her shoulders. The air in the room turned noticeably cooler, sending a shiver down Jasmine's spine. For just a heartbeat, She hesitated, but then she pressed forward, she rode the tide of her own fervor, and the atmosphere buzzed with uplifting vibes. As she concluded, the room erupted in sincere applause from numerous listeners. Victoria rose to her feet, a smile gracing her lips. "Thank you, Jasmine," she said warmly. "That was a dynamic presentation. Now, let's set this aside for a moment. We shall hold off on any further conversations until we have completed the comprehensive cost analysis and risk assessment, taking into account the legal implications surrounding the UGC. The appropriate committees have carefully examined the partnerships and the allocation of resources for the accessibility technology." Her voice carried a sharp edge, impeccably polished yet frigid. With grace, she moved on to the next agenda item, effectively closing the door on any immediate conversation about Jasmine's proposal. The remainder of the meeting slipped by in a haze for Jasmine. She steered clear of Victoria's eyes. A cold knot of dread twisted in her stomach. She had miscalculated terribly. The summons arrived just moments later. The meeting came to an end, and one by one, the attendees filtered out. Jasmine stepped into the office, her footsteps echoing softly in the space she knew so well. In the dimly lit corridor, a sense of dread enveloped her, as if she were walking toward her fate. Victoria positioned herself by the towering window, her posture tense and unyielding. Silhouetted against the city skyline, she remained still, not turning around right away as Jasmine stepped inside. "Close the door," Victoria spoke, her voice dripping with intensity. Jasmine complied. The gentle sound of a click echoed in the air, resonating in the unexpectedly heavy stillness. Victoria finally faced the sound. The expression held no anger, but rather a chilling fury, intertwined with a far more sinister undertone. "What a letdown. Can you shed some light on this? Please, do explain." Jasmine attempted to stand her ground, but her resolve faltered. "The campaign, Victoria. It's revolutionary." The backers were captivated by the fundamental concept. They adored the vision. Victoria made her move. She turned away, but he stepped closer. Her eyes glimmered like shards of Arctic ice, filled with a fierce love, a proposal that felt incomplete. Wrapped in the guise of a fate company, "You caught me off guard, Jasmine." It was a moment of total conviction. "I brought it up during our lunch gathering last week," and Jasmine couldn't help but voice her disagreement. "You brought up an idea," Victoria interjected sharply, "but you didn't say anything about finalized partnerships or proprietary technology. It seems there was a plan in motion, one that you aimed to present in its entirety to the board and investors, all without giving me a chance to review it beforehand. Do you understand the hierarchy, the established procedures? What risk have you put this company in?" I wondered. Jasmine's voice quivered. "I believed you would feel a sense of pride. I was under the impression that you had faith in me, that bond of trust." Victoria let out a brief, amused chuckle. "This isn't about having faith in your concepts, Jasmine. This tale unfolds around the essence of believing in your own judgment. Have faith that you truly grasp the weight of your role hangs in the air, a palpable force. Have faith that you will assess the ground before taking a plunge, for you are soaring above." She waved her hand, emotion filled with uncertainty. Between them, her voice trembling just a bit at this, the silent blame that Jasmine was exploiting. Their connection struck her like a sudden gust of wind, leaving Jasmine reeling. It felt so unjust. "In the face of our challenges, I forged ahead, driven by a desire to show my strength and resilience, my own. And instead, you showed that you lack comprehension of the essential principles governing this battleground," Victoria replied, her voice rising. "Lyra is not a stage for your dramatic displays. Your role isn't a guarantee that will always support you when you choose to take a leap. You diminished my efforts, and in the presence of key stakeholders, I felt exposed, as if I were caught in a web of confusion, making it seem like I was oblivious to the actions of my own head of marketing, or even worse, that I would allow such defiance." Tears pricked Jasmine's eyes, fueled by pain and a growing fire within. "Is this what it means to defy? Because I have the audacity to." It seems there was a spark of creativity that emerged, one that perhaps wasn't fully explored or given the green light before taking flight. It all began with a moment of initiative, a leap into the unknown. "It's because you acted unilaterally," Victoria shot back. "You didn't join forces with your own instincts. You chose to forge your own path. And in that choice, it put at risk not only the campaign, but also the very sense of stability that this entire department, my department, had worked so hard to build." She inhaled deeply, her composure wavering as she fought to rein in her frustration. The campaign held promise, a spark of significance flickering within. There lies a promise waiting to be unlocked. Yet it yearns for a framework, a way to navigate uncertainties, and a method to guide its journey. It also craves, before it is showcased to the board, the CEO's clear endorsement is essential. This is a crucial element you overlooked. The quiet that follows speaks volumes, stretched thick with hurt and frustration. Rain began to streak the window behind Victoria, mirroring the tears Jasmine was desperately trying to hold back. "You're right," Jasmine whispered, the fight draining out of her. The weight of her misstep wrapped around her like a chilling fog, a stark reminder of the path she had chosen. Became lost in the moment. The desire for perfection consumed her thoughts. She longed for your gaze to meet hers. It was all about her, her voice fading into silence, lost in the complexity of dreams and desires. Victoria observed her, the icy anger gradually transforming into a whirlwind of emotions. Exhaustion, concern, and the lingering sting of, in the dim light, the weight of betrayal hung heavy in the air. I see you, Jasmine, she murmured, her voice taking on a gentler tone, yet still edged with a roughness that spoke of unspoken pain. Emotion swirls around us, illuminating your brilliance, a fire that has always burned bright. Yet, there's more to uncover. I seek the companion who recognizes the burden of the crown she bears. The ally who expresses her thoughts openly, not through surprise attacks. She sighed, running a hand through her, with hair that glistened like silk. There was an unexpected hint of chaos. This simply wouldn't do. It's impossible to continue like this. If this, she waved her hand between them once more, is going to, for it to hold any value, it must coexist with mutual respect and clear boundaries. Trust in your communication is essential for me. With a quick nod, Jasmine brushed away her tears. I understand. Please forgive me, Victoria. In all honesty, I made a mistake. It wasn't just a slip in my role, but a failure in my commitment to you. In the towering presence of the corporate skyscraper, she felt diminutive, as if the weight of the world rested upon her shoulders. Her partner, Victoria, stood by her side, a beacon of support amidst the overwhelming landscape, offered softly. In every way, let's come together to make this right. Beginning with, by Thursday, I expect to see the revised proposal, complete with a thorough risk assessment and budget, on my desk. And Jasmine, she locked eyes with her, the vulnerability evident in her typically shielded gaze. To me next time before the grand unveiling. The crisis wasn't over. The campaign needed rescuing. Faith required restoration. Yet the gateway to dialogue forcefully closed in the heart of the CEO's office. The door swung open once more, letting in the sound of rain and a wave of unfiltered truth. It was here that the true labor began for both. The journey of the campaign and their bond was only just unfolding. Part 10. No promises made yet. But perhaps one day, 6 months, it seemed like both an eternity and the swiftest moment. The heart. Half a year had passed since a drunken revelation had broken through Victoria Hale's meticulously built wall of ice, setting off a chain of events that would change everything. Something warm, terrifying, and utterly undeniable. Now they found themselves on the same rooftop terrace where it had all begun. Bathed in the honeyed glow of golden hour, the city sprawled below them. The tapestry of shimmering lights mirrored the quiet constellation of feelings between them. Jasmine leaned her elbows. On the cool railing, a gentle breeze danced through her vibrant sundress, a splash of coral that stood out against the deepening blue sky. She observed Victoria, who stood next to her, her profile marked by its characteristic graceful sternness. Gently softened only by the soft glow enveloped her, bringing a gentle ease to her gaze. A vivid recollection of her own tipsy confession surfaced. A powerful, with a blend of laughter and a hint of embarrassment. Jasmine started, her voice light and teasing as she nudged Victoria's arm, still not prepared to take the plunge with me. She smiled, her eyes sparkling with curiosity as she observed closely from the familiar micro-expressions, the slight tightening of the jaw, the almost imperceptible eye roll. Victoria didn't miss a beat. Feel the weight of her frustrations settle heavily upon her shoulders. With a weary breath, she released a sound that echoed her discontent, a deep rumble that seemed to resonate with the very core of her being. As she unfolded her arms, a flicker of hope danced in her heart, urging her to take the next step. She crossed her arms once more, a protective stance that Jasmine had come to understand as Victoria's way of showing her unease. Honestly, Reyes, she whispered, her eyes fixed intently on the distant horizon. Though a telltale flush crept up her neck, she couldn't help but respond. You have the subtlety of a marching band. Jasmine's grin widened, a spark of mischief dancing in her eyes. Let's be honest here. The notion has blossomed within you, much like a delightful surprise. Slightly chaotic moss. Victoria paused for a moment. The city, the lights danced in her blue eyes. At last, she broke the silence, her voice a soft whisper, with a heaviness in her heart that caught her off guard. You know, she began, gaze fixed elsewhere. I was going to ask you this time. The lightheartedness faded away. Jasmine sat up straighter. Her smile froze for a moment, then melted into a look of wide-eyed disbelief. You were going to ask me? Victoria finally turned, Her, in the dim light of the evening, a canvas of emotions unfolded, revealing a stunning portrayal of raw and fragile honesty. Indeed, this moment, right here, was a testament to the beauty found in our struggles. It seems I have a knack for orchestrating my own grand misadventures. She made a sweeping motion towards the enchanting atmosphere. I was ready, armed with a carefully crafted speech. Perhaps even, her hand floated aimlessly toward the delicate, refined. A clutch bag lay elegantly on a nearby table. Catching Jasmine's eye, her breath caught in her throat. "Victoria?" she whispered. She leaned in closer, her gaze flitting nervously from Victoria's expression to the mysterious bag. Is anyone even there?" Victoria groaned, pinching the bridge of her nose in frustration. Indeed, very well, everything was set, a piece of the grand design. But alas, you chose to disrupt my— Once more, the chance slipped away. Not a single opportunity for a graceful, intentional act was granted to me. Was it you, always swooping in with your devilish teasing? The blush was unmistakably evident. In that moment, her cheeks blossomed with a rare, enchanting hue of pink. She wore an expression that was both charming and exasperated. A delightful mix of frustration and allure, the absolute, in a twist of fate. There she was, Victoria Hale, caught in a whirlwind of thoughts, carefully orchestrating a moment that would change everything. Grappling with the perfect choice of ring, as she practiced her lines, Jasmine found herself utterly unguarded. A shimmering orb of unfiltered happiness swelled inside her, erupting in joyous mirth. Radiant, crisp, and completely captivating. Glimmers of light danced in her gaze, crinkled at the corners, glistening with tears of joy and laughter. "Oh my goodness," Jasmine let out a surprised breath, her laughter bubbling up uncontrollably. As the distance between them shrank, anticipation filled the air. In a moment that felt like a scene from a timeless tale, the majestic Ice Queen prepared to lower herself gracefully, as if the world around her held its breath in anticipation. Or, true to your style, present a compelling PowerPoint that highlights the advantages and disadvantages of marriage, and with bullet points. That's just ridiculous. Victoria huffed, her frustration evident. Yet, at the edge of her, her lips quivered, waging a futile war against the urge to grin. It would have been a brief and clear offering, filled with intention. It is essential to consider the necessary precautions when discussing agreements before marriage and the sharing of domestic responsibilities. Jasmine's smile radiated as she gently closed the space that lay between them. With gentle hands, she lifted Victoria's flushed face, cradling it tenderly. "You," she declared, her voice overflowing with warmth. "They are undeniably, utterly charming in the midst of your irritation." At long last, Victoria emerged from the shadows, her journey leading her to this moment of triumph. Shattered, the barriers dissolved, giving way to a smile that was both extraordinary and heartfelt, and so incredibly gentle that it left Jasmine in awe. It changed her expression, wiping away the weight of time and seriousness, unveiling the essence of a woman who cherished classic films, intentionally scorched cookies to inspire Jasmine's baking, and crafted intricate crosswords with flawless, delicate handwriting. Once upon a time, there was a woman who stood firm against the tide of opposition. The odds were completely in love. "Only for you, Reyes," Victoria whispered, her voice a husky filled with feelings. "Your charm brings forth an irresistibly delightful kind of vexation." Without a moment's pause, Jasmine took action. She leaned in, their lips meeting in a kiss that, it was gentle and reassuring, filled with the glimmer of laughter shared and the unspoken hopes that lingered in the air. It was a kiss that lingered in the air, a moment suspended in time, where the world around them faded away, leaving only the warmth of their connection. The soft brush of lips ignited a spark, a silent promise exchanged in the twilight. Each heartbeat echoed the unspoken words, weaving a tale of longing and desire that would be remembered long after the sun dipped below the horizon. Whispers of twilight and the lingering notes of fine champagne savored moments before, of reconciliation following their heated exchange, and of an unfolding journey that seemed to transform from a delicate balancing act into a firm and reassuring path. As they drew away from each other, with their foreheads gently touching, Jasmine murmured, "So eventually, someday, perhaps." Victoria wrapped her arms around Jasmine's waist, drawing her in tightly. With a gentle push, she applied pressure to a soft kiss to Jasmine's temple. "Without a doubt, one day," she affirmed. A low rumble brushed against Jasmine's skin, transforming the uncertainty into a promise of inevitability. "Allow me to pose my question more appropriately next time. Moments free from your unwelcome interference." Jasmine curled up beside her, inhaling softly, in the familiar scent of Victoria's perfume and the crisp evening air. "Deal?" she sighed contentedly. "However, just to let you know, no, my answer is already yes. Should you find it useful, here's the data point for your proposal algorithm." Victoria let out a soft, melodic laugh, its warmth wrapping around those nearby like a cozy blanket. In a moment that would be remembered, she held Jasmine drew closer, their forms blending seamlessly against the shimmering city lights and the encroaching dusk. Once upon a time, there existed a group of individuals who embarked on a journey filled with adventures and challenges. Their paths intertwined, leading them to discover the true essence of friendship and courage. Stayed like that, hand in hand, basking in the golden hour's lingering embrace. The future unfolded like a grand tapestry, no longer a vague mist of possibilities, but a journey they were crafting hand in hand, step by step, one foot in front of the other. It was a journey that would surely lead to more wine stains, with moments of professional tension skillfully maneuvered through. It was a challenging journey of connection, accompanied by the serene, unwavering awareness that along that path, on Victoria's carefully crafted route, in the midst of carefully laid plans, promises would be exchanged. Yet at this moment, perched atop the rooftop where disorder intertwined with order and ignited a fire within. In a moment that felt almost magical, the unwavering bond they shared radiated warmth, their hands intertwined, a testament to a love that was undeniably profound. The ring, nestled securely in Victoria's clutch, was poised for its moment, ready to shine at just the right time. They possessed everything. Moments in the